Hi everybody, what's up? It's William from Rocket Zero and welcome to another pixel art tutorial. In this pixel art tutorial, we're going to be building the Green Ranger, or otherwise known as Tommy Oliver, from the show Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Now what do we need for this Green Ranger? We need some light gray wool, white wool, yellow wool, lime wool, green wool, black wool, gray wool, and red wool. And he was assigned by the look description down below. So we're going to start with 4 blocks of our light gray wool. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 4 white wools on top. We're going to grab our yellow and we're going to place 1. Then lime wool on top. And to the right, we're going to put 2 green wools, taking the bottom one out. Then we're going to grab our lime wool and we're going to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on top, we're going to grab our white wool. We're going to put 1 here and here. And then 2 blacks and a yellow in the middle. Now back to our green wool, we're going to place 1 here. And then lime wool, taking this one out. And then yellow, taking this one out. And below it, we're going to place 4 white wools. And below that, 4 light gray wools. And that's going to be his belt and his legs and shoes. So make sure you guys have this so far before we move on to the next step. For that next step, we're going to grab our lime wool and we're going to make a row, like so. And then 2 lime wools, skip a space, 2 lime wools. Then we're going to grab our yellow wool, we're going to place 1 down. We're going to switch your light gray wool, we're going to place 1 block here and here. And then a row of yellow wool, followed by another row of yellow wool on top. Next to it, we're going to grab our lime wool, we're going to place 1 here and here. And we're going to finish this arm by placing yellow wool, and then we're going to go up a row and place 2 lime wools, taking this one out, and then gold, and then 4 blocks of, actually 3 blocks of white wool, like so. That's going to be his arm. Now let's move on to this side. This side's a really cool part. This is where he holds his sword. So we're going to grab our yellow wool and replace 2 blocks, taking this one out, and then lime wool. We're going to go down and to the right, taking this one out, and gold next to that. So that was a lot of blocks. So let's take a step back. Make sure we have this before we move on to the next step. Okay, now let's do his sword. For his sword, we're going to grab our black wool. And we're going to place 1 block, and then another one below that. Then yellow wool. We're going to switch it up, and we're going to grab our white wool. Then we're going to place 1, 2, 3. Then a row of black wool, starting here. 1, 2, 3. Then white wool, white wool, white wool, and white wool. And then yellow wool, and once again, black wool on top. Then we're going to grab our lime wool and replace 1, 2. And then 1, 2. This will be an easy spot to pause it, so you guys can do all of that, because I did go kind of quickly. Let me slow down a little bit. I do tend to go quickly. But that's just so the tutorials don't take forever. So back to this. Let's grab our white wool and we're going to place 1, 2, 3. Now it's the same thing on this side. 1, 2, 3. And then starting here, we're going to go up by 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same thing on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's grab our light gray wool and we're going to place 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's connect them here and go up again, like so. Then white wool goes here, here, and here. And we're left with this big gap in the middle, and we're going to fill that gap in with some yellow wool. And that's going to be his sword. So it's looking pretty cool. Now we need to have his helmet and just a little bit more of his shield. Not his shield, but like his breast piece. I'm not sure what it's called. The collar, I guess. So we're going to find the middle. We're going to grab our light gray wool and replace 1 block here. Then we're going to move up to the front. And we're going to add 4 blocks, or actually 3 blocks of our yellow wool. So 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3. Now we need to grab our lime wool, and for our lime wool we're going to place 1 block here and then another one in front so that it's brought up to the same level. And now we're going to add 3 blocks to the right. 1, 2, 3. And then 3 blocks to the left. 1, 2, 3. So that you're left with 7 blocks across. Now we're going to go up and to the right, up and to the right, and then up again, so that you end up with this. So up and to the left, up and to the left, and then 1 more block. Awesome. So now let's grab our green wool and replace one block here, then another one here. And actually, no. We need to use our green wool, not our lime wool. I said green wool, and I started placing our lime wool. So make sure you have 2 blocks of our green wool there. And then we need to grab our light gray wool. And we're going to place 1, 2, 3. And then right here, we're going to put a white wool and white wool. And then we can fill the rest of the space in with some green wool. So now this is where this tutorial gets tricky. So let's take a break. Pause it if you need to make sure we have all of this. Because the mask is a bit complicated on this guy. Okay. So what we're going to do is that we're going to grab our light gray wool. And we're going to place 1 block here and then another one here. The same thing on this side. So 1 block here and here. Now let's grab our black wool and we'll place 2 blocks. Same thing on this side. 2 blocks. And then light gray wool. Lime wool. And then 2 blocks of our green wool. So 1, 2. Now let's do it on this side. Light gray wool. Lime wool. 2 blocks of green wool. 1, 2. Now what we're going to do is that we're going to put 2 blocks of lime wool here. 1, 2. And below it, we're going to put light gray wool. And then gray wool. Below this light gray wool, what we're going to do is that we're going to place 2 black wools. And then here, we are going to place... Actually, no, this is wrong, guys. I'm sorry. This has to be white wool. Sorry about that. So, light gray wool, white wool. There we go. Sorry about that. Little bit of mistake. So let's take a pause. Let's take a break. Pause. Let's take a pause. So make sure we're on the same page. So now let's grab our black wool and we're going to place 2 blocks here. And then next to it, we're going to grab our gray wool and replace 1, 2. And then right here goes our 3rd block. So 1, 2, 3rd block. Now we need to grab our black wool, put a block here and here. So make sure you guys have this so far. Before we add 4 blocks of black wool here, 4 blocks of black wool here, and then we're going to place 1, 2, 3, and 1 more block goes here. Now we can grab our lime wool and we're going to place 1 block here and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, connecting this guys like so. And then 2 blocks. So now let's take another step back. What we're going to do now is that we're going to grab our lime wool and replace 1 block here, followed by 2 green wools next to it. Then 1 on top. Same thing here. Lime wool, green wool, 2 green wools. Now we need our lime wool, and what we're going to do is that we're going to place 2 blocks here. Whoops. 1, 2. 1, 2. And then 1. Whoops. Can't reach it. 1 and 1. Then we're going to grab our green wool and replace 1 block here and 1 block here. Now what we're going to do is that we're going to grab our lime wool, and then we're going to place 1, 2, and then red wool, and on top, lime wool. And now all that we have left to do is to connect this guys like so. Put 2 more blocks here and 2 more blocks here. And afterwards we should be finished with the Green Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please give it a like down below. And also if you're interested in building the other Rangers, on the left we have the Pink Ranger, and then the Yellow Ranger, then the Blue Ranger, my favorite, and then the Black Ranger, and finally the Red Ranger. So if you're interested in building them, I'll put a link down in the description below to all of their tutorials. So once again, thank you so much for watching. This was William from Rocket Zero. We'll see you next time.